None. Exodus 21:20-21 is a passage that can seem jarring at first glance. It reads, "When a man strikes his male or female slave with a rod and the slave dies under his hand, he shall be punished. But if the slave survives a day or two, he is not to be punished, for the slave is his money." Now, before we jump to conclusions, let's set the historical context. In ancient Israel, slavery was a common practice, very different from modern concepts of slavery. Slaves were often debt servants, people working to pay off debts or to avoid starvation. The passage is part of the Covenant Code, a set of laws given to the Israelites after their exodus from Egypt. It's crucial to understand that these laws were steps towards more humane treatment compared to surrounding cultures. In this passage, the emphasis is on accountability. If a slave owner kills a slave, he faces severe consequences. But why the distinction if the slave survives a day or two? It indicates that the injury was not intended to be fatal, and the owner would be financially penalized by losing their labor force. While this may still seem harsh by today's standards, it was a progressive step in the ancient world. It begins a shift towards more humane treatment and responsibility. Understanding these texts within their historical context helps us appreciate the gradual progression towards justice and compassion. It's a complex journey, but each step is significant. Stay curious and keep exploring. To delve deeper, we must consider the broader societal norms of the time. Slavery, as practiced in ancient Israel, was not based on race or ethnicity, but was often a result of economic hardship. People would sell themselves into servitude to pay off debts or to provide for their families. This form of servitude was more akin to indentured servitude, where individuals worked for a set period to repay what they owed. The laws in Exodus were designed to regulate this practice and to ensure that even those in servitude were treated with a certain level of dignity and respect. The punishment for a master who killed a slave was a significant deterrent, emphasizing the value of human life. It was a radical departure from the practices of surrounding nations, where slaves were often treated as mere property with no rights or protections. The distinction made, if the slave survived a day or two, was not to diminish the severity of the act, but to recognize the intent behind it. If the slave survived, it indicated that the master did not intend to kill, and thus the punishment was different. This nuanced approach to justice reflects a society grappling with the complexities of human relationships and the need for laws that balanced justice with mercy. As we study these ancient texts, it's essential to approach them with an understanding of their historical and cultural context. They offer us a window into the evolving nature of justice and human rights, showing us how far we've come and how these early laws laid the groundwork for future advancements. So, while Exodus 21:20, the 21st of May, seem harsh to modern readers, it represents a significant step forward in the ancient world. It underscores the importance of accountability and the value of human life, principles that continue to resonate today. Stay curious and keep exploring.